And there you go. We've finished this other side today. So here is the little kitchen desk area. And I decided to put 6-inch square tiles down low here because of the countertop is here, and I wanted to keep that line straight, and then I didn't want to have just a short little piece of tile down here, so I decided to get some 6-inch square tiles and just cut the 6-inch tiles to fit there. So I think it'll work out pretty good. It looks like it kind of defines the desk area a little bit, and I needed the 6-inch tiles for up under here too. And we have a bullnose edge up top here, and one there. And then over here we have a double out dot, double bullnose here to meet the bullnose here and there. And then we ended up with just a little short piece on the bottom, and that short piece is because of the accent strip. And so that's all right, no problem. That is the other side that we just finished. I finished that the other day. Mitch was doing this one here with me today. So yes, that looks a lot better. Now I'm going to go into the bathroom, and I'm going to tile up that little bit of wall there, and basically just come across somewhere in this area here with the chair rail on top, and so that looked pretty good. These tiles will match, so chair rail is probably going to be right in this area here. Yeah, right about there. Okay. Alright, so I am going to get with it. And still waiting on that window. That thing is being a nuisance, annoyance. I wish it was here. Anyway, okay. Let me get going. And here we are with another time-lapse of tiling the kitchen counters. Notice how lovely and ugly those green backsplashes are right now. That is all going to change in just a few minutes. So we are just getting ready to go here. Mitch has got the mud mixed up, and we are going to let it slake a few minutes. It's just a little chemical thing where everything fully hydrates and all the components are ready to go. So we are using Flex Bond mortar. That's the premium best mortar, thin set mortar that you can use. A little more expensive, but it works the best. So I am working over the desk, and the desk has a lower countertop than the rest of the countertop. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some 6-inch square tiles instead of the 3x6 subway tiles, and I'm fitting and cutting those in a straight line that is perfectly horizontal, level, and continues the line of the countertop over into the corner. And I'm doing it that way because I didn't want to have a little small piece starting off on the desk surface. So I just kind of have about a 5-inch piece of tile that goes around the desk surface area, and you'll see that later in the video. Mitch is going to be working on the right side over there. I'm working over in the desk area, and we can do that because we have started that first course across the countertop, so we know where all the tiles have to line up at. The tiles are half spaced over each other, so there's a shift of 3 inches in every course of tile, so it's easy to replicate that across the room. But also the window is a divider there, and we really only need to do that with that little thin course that's right under the windowsill. Okay, so we are busily mortaring up tiles and putting it together. Mitch has got that sidewall going there, and the sidewall is going to die into some bullnose tile that is farther out, right with the edge, the forward edge of the countertop. You can kind of see the line there. We have them in place that they're going to get popped off a little later and shifted around, and so you see Mitch, he was putting the shims in there. We're using the little 1/8 inch wedge shims. They leave, I like the gap that they leave, and you can also make tiny little adjustments with the shim. And so, yeah, I'm kind of lucky. I'm working a little bit lower, so I get to have a little bucket chair to sit on and do my work at. And it's a little bit slow in that area there because it's kind of a tedious thing trying to get everything. Everything has to fit just perfectly without error to make that flat across there with the counter level. And so you see Mitch is still coming up there. But I tell you, I sure like having those countertop lights in there. They make it so much nicer to work in that kitchen, having that bright countertop surface. I cannot stress how much those improve your time in the kitchen. The light they provide is kind of a soft backlight effect because you don't see the light when you're standing there, but you see the light shining on the backsplash and the counter surface. And it's just better for working on food preparation and whatever you're doing to make the chore that you're doing more enjoyable. Okay, so you see I'm up doing the course that is level with the countertop now. I've got all those 6-inch tiles in on the deck or the desk surface, so I'm going to build up the tiles on the backsplash there. And that backsplash, it's got a couple of things that make it hard to work with over on my side. It's got it's an old house, and so it has a bit of a hump in the wall, and one of the things that kind of makes it difficult there is the jolly, the 12-inch by 3/4 inch tile, the black strip. It is trying to span across the hump in the wall, and so it is difficult to work with there because it teeters on that hump. So we have to position the jolly so that there's a joint right at the peak of the hump, and that way I can have one jolly end at one side of the hump and then have another jolly on the other side of the hump, and that way we are not having to deal with the hump and teetering over it. And you see Mitch has got the jolly on top there right against the sidewall. He's going to start doing it across the back wall now. And I'm just cutting a tile that fits in around the windowsill. And there it goes, popped it in. And then think Mitch will do the other one, or maybe I'm going to do the next one. Okay, so that was pretty soon is the point at which we take a quick break and head to Dick's for a deluxe burger and French fries and chocolate shakes. Not the healthiest thing in the world, but kind of a tasty treat. Those of you who know what Dick's burgers are, if you're in Portland, it would be kind of like Burgerville, except Burgerville makes more of a standard hamburger, and Dick's kind of makes a little hamburger that not very fancy but basic. But it's a Seattle favorite. Okay, so I am still coming up over on the other side. Dealing with that hump in the wall there. Mitch is doing some tile there. He's doing full tiles. There's most of the tiles are full tiles that don't need to be cut, but then when you come to an outlet, you've got several tiles that need to be cut, and these ones here are more complicated because the outlet is close to the window, so some of the tiles you have to cut for the window and for the outlet, and fit whatever contour of wall space you have onto the tile. And then we also have to make the tile fit tightly around the electrical, because those are remodeled boxes on that side, and so they have kind of a surface frame around them. So we need to put the tile tight against the outline, the frame of the box. So the box is still removable. Might be kind of a trick to remove it, but it is still removable. And then I will extend the outlets out with like about a 5/16 or so tube spacer that I'll have to get longer screws for all the outlets, and then put a little tube on the screw that will extend the outlet to where it is flush with the tile surface, and then we can put the cover plates on. And that's another thing I got to do here too, is I'm going to change all of the outlets to white, because the ivory color just does not go with the white tile anymore. Okay, so now I am working more on the sidewall over there. And the sidewall, the sidewall is perfectly plumb straight up and down, but the outside wall has a little bit of an inward lean on it. As I say, it is an old house, and excuse me, had to have a big yawn. An old house, they all have their little quirks to them. Shifting this way, settling that way. That's why we have the bulge in the wall, and that's why we have the slope in the wall. And there you see the black jolly tiles are up there now, and the little hump in the wall is kind of like halfway between me and the outlet. And so right now I'm doing the tiles where I have to cut around the outlet, or for the switches on the sidewall there. And there you see I've got a couple of them in place. The bottom one, I needed to make a slight adjustment in the upper right corner of it. So then we'll tile these this backsplash all the way up to behind the light fixtures, and that way it is a full complete tile backsplash. You could tile up some people will tile up halfway, 3/4 of the way, or just up to the last course under the cabinets and then stop. I wanted to have the tile go all the way up and have a complete tile backsplash all the way up to the cabinets, and I just like that look better. That way you don't have a little strip that you have to paint or do something with. So Mitch is putting the tiles in over on the right side there, coming up along the cabinets now, and he is working on the bullnose, and you see at the top is a 2-inch square double out bullnose, and that is the bullnose you use for a corner where vertical meets horizontal. Over on the side that I'm working, the bullnose, it just goes between the left end of the cabinet against the wall to the door jamb, so there's no double bullnose or anything there. It's just a straight piece of cabinet cut to fit between the door jamb and the cabinet. But I've got a few more pieces of tile to finish up there across the top. So I'm still cutting those slanted tiles in the corner. You know, it takes a little bit of time. You measure and cut and fit, and then you run back and make your little adjustment cuts here and there. And but when you get a nice consistent fit, it looks so much nicer. When you have a slanted wall, you can cut the tiles at the same slant, and it just looks so much nicer than if you have what you call a staircase, where, you know, if someone's in a hurry and lazy and they don't want to make it look really well, they will just make straight cuts that fit at one end and they're wide at the other end, and that's not the way that I play. I've always been a little bit of a perfectionist. And I enjoy this working tile. It's kind of like doing a puzzle, only you have to make the pieces. You have to make the pieces happen. Make it happen. So you can see Mitch has just a couple more pieces across the top to finish up. I've got a couple more courses there. I think I'm kind of in the home stretch there now. I'm putting full tiles up. And then I'll have one more course after this. And I think I got lucky that it worked out that the course above this to the cabinet ended up being a full height course. So that's always nice, those times where you get something that is easy. That's usually not the case. You usually have to work for it. There, Mitch is finished on his side, so he's just kind of picking up the slack over here on my side. But you can see, you think back to the start of the video when the backsplash was just green paint, and then you look at it now, and what a difference. Then it'll take on a little bit nicer of appearance when it gets grouted, and we might do some grouting later today. I have to finish tiling in the bathroom today. I had to deal with some issues in the bathroom last night. That's one of the things that happens is if different people do tile different ways, and somebody did tile in the bathroom for me on one wall, only they did it a different way than what the rest of the bathroom was. Then I came in there to do tile again for the wall, the sink wall, and after I had gotten a bunch of tile done, I noticed that, hey, wait a minute, things aren't lining up right. What's going on here? So then I had to take a look at what was happening, and had to pull the tile off because somebody had not spaced the horizontal gaps. So all the tiles are laying flat on each other instead of being spaced. And I'm not too pleased about that. But the reason that the person did that is because they're kind of a tight fit, but you know, that's just part of the job. You reach in there and you do what you have to do to make it right. Maybe it's a little extra work, but that's what you do. You make things, you make it right. So anyway, I had to pull a bunch of tile off and do it to match what the other person had done, and I got that done. Kind of had to do the job 3 times because I had to mortar it on, then peel it off, scrape the mortar, put on mortar again, and replace them to match what was on that wall. Fortunately, when it comes up to a visible area, the gaps start happening again, so at least now it will look the way I want it to look and match with the sidewall that it is going to die into. So we're just about to wind up this video here. Got a segment at the end, just a look around the room with video using the GoPro. So I'll just kind of have everything cleaned up and put away, and then you'll be able to look at the countertops and the tile without all the clutter on them, and it looks really nice. I am very, very pleased with how this is going. So I've still got another couple of weeks of work in here before I can put the house on the market, but it's coming along very nicely. Okay, so here comes the video. Thanks for watching. I would appreciate your likes, your comments, and all that. See you on the next one. Okay, we have finished tiling the kitchen, and it looks nice. Very nice. There's the desk area. So this is going to be just a really sweet kitchen when everything is all finished up and all the paint is fresh, the new stainless steel appliances are in. It's going to be very nice. All right, I will see you later.